Hello, I'm in Minneapolis today, although this story could be told in any city as I move from one city to the next almost every day. I love what I do. It's a fun job, but it takes me away from home for a very long time. I choose it that way because I live far away from my company, and these rock and roll tours are usually anywhere from 3 weeks to 6 months. It could be anywhere in between with some breaks. Sometimes there aren't any breaks. Anyway, when I go home, I look forward to kissing my wife, playing with my children, my fluffy puppy dog. I love mowing my lawn. I even like taking the garbage out and washing the dishes. After all that's done, the introductions and family time, and I have to get into dad mode and drive the kids to school or wherever, I use my Jeep. Mama has her car and I have my Jeep. I love my Jeep. So I go into the garage after dinner one night and I'm making sure that I have my Jeep operational. I know Jeeps like to break down. They have their issues. They're not perfect. But I put a lot of work into this Jeep. I do a little bit every time I'm home. So I go in the garage, put the key in the ignition, and it did not start. No lights on the dashboard, no dings, no nothing. It was dead. I put a multimeter onto the battery, and it read like 6.2 volts. It was ridiculously low. I considered putting a trickle charger onto it, as I carried one in my bus, and I had all my tools home with me. I was going through and switching my summer clothes out for winter, adding some tools, taking some tools away, and I didn't have enough time to put the trickle charger on there and be ready to take the kids to school the next day. Plus, it would just prolong the problem of having a crazy battery that didn't want to live any longer. So I asked the wife, can you bring home this particular charger battery jumper from your job? All right, husband. So she brings home the Fatmax 1200. It was one of two, I believe, were available at Sam's Club. It was like $83. Wasn't very expensive. She brings it home, and I'm expecting to have to put it onto the wall outlet and charge it up for whatever amount of time, and then put it on the Jeep. And have my luck at jump starting the Jeep. Well, I took it out of the box. I connected it to the Jeep battery. I turned it on. And as soon as I turned it on, all kinds of dings are coming from the dashboard of the Jeep. I go around and there's lights. There's life in my Jeep. Dings, lights, whatever. I turn the ignition on the column. The Jeep comes to life. Immediately puts a smile on my face. Years ago, a pretty girl would put a smile on my face, but a Jeep puts a smile on my face these days. And seeing my kids smile and my wife. It's the simple things in life that you look forward to when you get older. Anyway, this little video is about this particular charger, the Fatmax 1200 from Stanley Tools. I'm not a big fan of any particular brand except for Milwaukee. At that particular time, I didn't have the option to choose a Milwaukee, so I chose the Stanley. Almost all of my tools in my garage are the Milwaukee 18 volt or whatever, the fuel line of tools that they have. I'm very happy with them. They're much better than the Ryobis, but that's not what this video is about. Anyway, I get the battery started. I know I'm good for the next day. And I run over and I take the starter off after I turn the Jeep off. Disconnect it, put it to the side. I take the old battery out and I go to AutoZone and I purchased a better battery, Deep Cycle 1000 cranking amps. I won't need a battery for a while. Unless, of course, the heat kills the battery, because the Jeep just lives in the garage when I'm gone. So here we go. I'll tell you what I think about this particular battery charger. So I progressed with the usage of the Fatmax 1200 around the garage. And by this point, I'm home for a few days and I'm starting to be human again. Not on my upside down sleep schedule. So I get the Fatmax 1200 out. I get my bicycles off the wall from storage and my puppy's bicycle trailer. They're all flat. Had maybe 4 or 5 pounds of air left in them. The heat is not friendly to anything in the garage. We're working on it now. We're about to get the house insulated, and that won't be such a problem. But right now it is. So the Fatmax 1200 made really easy work of pumping up the bicycle tires. Previously, we were using a foot pump. Foot pumps are just, well, they're no fun to keep it clean. I'd like to curse because they're not much fun at all. They'll slide out from underneath your foot, or you can't get the clip onto the stem of the tire. All kinds of fun things. They're no fun. It takes forever and your leg falls asleep, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I twist the air hose onto the air stem for the bicycle tire. I program in 35 pounds. For most of the bicycle tires we have are 35 pounds. Some are higher, some are lower. Proceed to pump them up. All I have to do is press the button once the pressure is entered into the compressor settings. And within 30 seconds, the tire is brought up to pressure. I mean, it doesn't get easier than that, especially for an old lazy fart like me. It's also useful for car tires, which is its primary use is to keep it in your car. Although in Florida that probably won't work, because if you keep it in your trunk for any period of time, the heat is going to kill the battery that is inside that is used to jump your battery in case it stops. So, pumping up the air tires is a good use. The other use it has is if you want to use it for an emergency USB charger, like if you're out camping. And it also has a LED light on it, so you could see what you're doing if you're under the engine compartment, under the hood, and your batteries are completely dead. The light underneath your hood isn't going to work, so that light is useful. It'd also be useful if you're at the campsite and you just turn the light on at the end of your picnic table. You have a little bit of light, not too much to draw the bugs into your area, at least not too many. So, in conclusion, it was a good purchase. I don't buy anything that I'm not going to use. I research everything before I purchase it. This one was kind of purchased in an emergency, but it worked out. I do recommend purchasing one of these, as I did. I don't get anything that I've reviewed in RC Car, Airplane World for free. Everything I have is purchased by me. I don't like being in the position where I owe some manufacturer something, so I'd never do those reviews where you have to do something under contract. That's just not me. I don't have enough time for that anyway. But yeah, it's well spent, $83. If you need something to keep around your garage, bump up air tires or jumpstart your lawnmower or something, this is the thing to use. The only thing that I do not like about this, and I understand why the manufacturer did it because there isn't a lot of storage space in this particular design, is I wish the air hose was a little bit longer. It's kind of on the short side, so if the stem of your tire while you're on the side of the road is at the top of the tire, you're going to have to lift up this little air compressor to reach the stem. And it's kind of lame. Yeah, I guess you could use a milk crate or your knee, something like that. However, another foot of air hose would have been preferable. Other than that, it's a good design. In the future, maybe it'll be smaller as battery technology gets bigger and better. So, anyway, thank you. If you listen to this whole story, thank you very much.